going to focus here on TMS specifically because that's the world that I come from. But a lot of these principles apply to anything else that you may want to buy. In my experience working with TMS, and RPM is certainly the shining example of this, a lot of companies are making that decision. Do I build or do I buy? Do I hire a team or get contractors and build my own proprietary TMS? Or do I buy one off of the shelf? And I think something that has really changed a lot in the last 10 years, and specifically in TMS, is that 10 years ago, your TMS was supposed to do absolutely everything for you. So it was TMS or nothing. It really was that I have to have this giant monolith. So do I buy it from someone else or do I build it myself? It's pretty obvious here, but the pros and cons between building and buying. If you build if you build any software out there, whether it's a TMS or a customized solution for you, obviously it's more customized, it's tailored to you. It's built specific to your users' preferences, your business rules. You can have a more specific integration to whatever other systems that you use. But then the cons are, of course, it's significantly more expensive, both initially and in the long term to build. So the other part that I think a lot of companies don't see when they get in up front is when you build, you're getting this monolith that you really can't afford to replace and iterate upon. And it ends up falling out of style and you end up falling behind your competition. Now, on the other end of it, it's kind of the antithesis. When you go and buy, you're getting something that's much cheaper. You get to market with this technology faster. You start gaining the benefits of it faster. A lot of things you scale. You don't have to pay for your own hosting and maintenance. And even switching TMSs can be really cheaper than rebuilding a monolith. But of course, the con of it is I'm standing here, I'm the product roadmap guy. I'm willing to admit when you're buying a TMS, you don't have complete control over that TMS's roadmap. You don't get to tell them what features to build next. They don't work for you. But the modern TMS to me is something that gives you the ability to get the best of both worlds. You get that benefit of buying and getting to market faster and having a great infrastructure that a professional software engineer is maintaining. Now, Rick, you've got a great IT team on your side, but especially for smaller companies, they're not going to hire a software engineer that knows how to go out and maintain AWS for them. They get in over their head really quickly. So the key feature that I always tell people to look for is a public API. And now I don't want to turn this into a commercial for Turvo, but this is one of my favorite features that we've got. Certainly one of the most powerful. When you have a TMS with a public API, that means that you buy that 90% of what every TMS will do, including if you build it yourself. And then you can build your own secret sauce on top of that TMS. You can build that differentiator that now all of a sudden it's not just a part of some TMS that all of your other competitors can go buy. So this is the key for my unique experience as a product manager and leader and both that and a user of TMSs. There is a world of difference between the companies that try to build their own and the ones that buy and then put their secret sauce on top of it. The growth and the success that those companies have and the way that they're able to connect with their customers and adapt to the market really is ideal. And Rick, to me, RPM is maybe my shining and best example of a company that has done that more successfully than anyone. So I think that RPM, if I know your history right, you guys were using Turvo before you came along. So you might not have been involved in that decision, but can you tell us a bit about your experience of building your own proprietary tech on top of off the shelf TMS solution like Turvo?
Yeah, and I saw a question in the Q&A. I'll try to answer at the same time. Just as a general statement nowadays, when we evaluate any technology, the first question I ask is about a public API. Because if there is some amount of functionality that's not contained inside it, we can sort of work around it. The question that came up in the Q&A was around what other technologies did you invest around a TMS? Like what would work? I'm not an expert at TMSs. I just want to say that right now. So if I say something that's typically in a TMS, I'm sorry, but like anything, like how do you integrate your TMS with your financial systems? How do you get your ledger into the system for your CFO so they can figure out what you made each month or whatever. An outbound or inbound API to pull that data is great. Sometimes you want more robust reporting than anybody else can pull, even out of the box. So you want to be able to pull that data out via an API and build your own dashboarding and monetization, or not modernization, but views of how you want to see the data sliced and diced. Mobile apps, right? I know Turvo has a mobile app, but it seems like everybody has their own mobile app. Maybe you want a specific one for your carrier base or for the niche of things that you move in freight. And you just want to brand it better for yourself. So being able to, opt. I could use Turvo's mobile app, or I could write my own. The API gives you that sort of flexibility.